Alright, in this video I'm going to show you guys how to control your permanent LED lighting with the Pixel Dancer app. So first things first, let's make sure we're connected to the lights. So go to settings, go to Wi-Fi. This is in direct mode and the default name is like WEC dash and then it says some numbers. So I'm just going to click that and then I'm going to go to settings, and I always like to make sure I'm connected in the settings of the app. So I'm going to click this little Wi-Fi button with the arrows, and it makes the connected button flash. If it's not connected, it'll say disconnected, or it will say searching. Click that button or whatever button is there and it will tell you if it's connected. And then at the top right, if the date's off, click it and it will reprogram it to the correct date. And then WEC version, every once in a while, click check update. That'll just, if it needs an update, click yes, and then just make sure you're close to the control box and it will update it to the most recent update. And then go back. If you're connected, you're good. And then first things first, at the bottom, you have color, presets, schedule, favorites. Color, you can select different colors and different effects and pretty much customize it to anything. Presets, you'll be able to change it to instantly change it to whatever holiday you'd like and then also change the effect of it. Scheduler, that's where you're going to schedule that's where you schedule different holidays or a default show, which is what that is. And that's like every day at a certain time, it'll do this color. And then favorites is if you're in color over here and you take some time, make some really cool effects, do some really cool stuff, and you want to save it, you'll click the I like button and then it will go all the way over here. That way, whenever you want to like change the lights to some cool thing you created, you can just save it, right? Click the save button and then go over here and you can just click it and then it will instantly change it to whatever you saved there. And then we'll jump over back to color. So for color, first things first is the light bulb colors. So when nothing's selected, it will be half white, half clear. And then when you click it, it'll basically highlight it. So if you want to select a color, click it, and then on the color palette, select the color. You click it, you can it'll click on the color. If you click it and hold, then you can drag it around like that, and then select whatever color you want. And then if you want to do multiple colors, you just select a color, then click the next light bulb, select whatever color, and then you can do up to 5 different colors. And then if you want to get rid of one of these colors, you click the color, make sure it's highlighted, and then on the left, you'll see the highlighted little trash can. You'll click that and it will go dark, and then you click the light bulb again, and then you can delete all these different light bulbs till you're down to one or none. And then on the right side over here, it says cool white, warm white, dark. If you click the cool white, it does the default cool white, which is like a nice bright white. The warm white is a nice like warm white. It almost looks like a natural warm light bulb. And then the dark turns it off. The reason you'd use this is for the default show, or if you want to make it look like you have like accent lighting on the home, you'll click warm white. And then if you want one light to be on and one light to be off, you go to the next light bulb, you click dark, and it will turn it off. And then if you go to the next light bulb and you turn it on, then the next one will be on, and it could be even be like a different color. And then you can do that up to the 5, same thing. And then now that you have all the colors you want, down here you can change the effects. And then one more thing up here, you can change the background of the lights. And this little light bulb right here, when you click it and then click a color, it'll change the background. This is so like you can make a background and then you can have like effects. I usually don't use it, but you can mess around with it. That's just what that does. To get rid of it, you click the trash can, it goes back, and then you click the light bulb so it's deselected, and then you won't be messing around with that anymore. And then when you have all the colors you want, and then you want to mess around with the effects, go down to the effects and then change it to whatever you want, and then just look up and see what it's doing. And then when it comes to all the effects, the main thing you want to do is click an effect, and then you want to adjust the settings of the effect. So each different effect, you can change the different settings for it. So for fixed colors, it just keeps out everything solid. And then you can just change the brightness, and then you can change the spacing. So what spacing does is, instead of, for this one, for example, let's see, for this one, for example, if we have it like this, it's going on the house. When you do it like this, it's going red, blue, and it's alternating. If you increase the spacing to like 44, this one right now it's doing 5 blue, 5 red, 5 blue, 5 red. So that's the spacing. And then for each effect, some will unlock different settings for this. So for chase, this chases around, and for this one, since it's a moving effect, you can adjust the speed. So you can slow it down, you can speed it up. And then shift, it'll have a little bar going around and it will shift. And you can increase and decrease the trails on this so that it has like a cool trail going along. And when you mess around with it, you'll figure it out. But that's just what the different settings do for the different effects. And then the last thing is, this is roofline lighting effects. And if you scroll over, you click next, there's grid effects. Some of these will work for your roofline lighting. If you like them, use them, cool. Some of them won't really do anything. If it doesn't do anything for your roofline lighting, don't worry about it. It's not supposed to anyway. And then last thing on this page, two things actually. The power button, click it on, click it off. It'll turn on and off the lights. So when you're done using them, even if you set a schedule, you basically click off and then it turns them off. And then this button down here, like in the middle, it's like the little arrow turning. This just flips the direction, usually for effects. So like if you have an effect and it's going left to right and you want it to go right to left, click that, it'll change the direction. And then presets, this is pretty self-explanatory. Just preset colors you can go for different holidays. And then we'll jump over to scheduler. So scheduler, we're going to go over the view/edit existing schedule and then how to create a new schedule. So when you click the view/edit, these are all schedules that are already scheduled to go on. And these ones right here are just the default. So most of the time when you get a system, these just pop up, even if you haven't made them. So if we want to edit one of these, just click on it. We're going to edit the Christmas one. And then let's just say we're making an effect and we want to like mess around with the colors, see what it looks like, and then schedule it for a time like Christmas. You're going to want to click apply changes to WEC. What that does is, as I'm changing the colors right here to whatever, it's going to change it on the WEC so they actually turn on. And so I can see what it actually looks like. And then you'll want to set the effect. And sometimes if you go on this and they're not turning on, just adjust the color and then go put the effect to something else, and usually they'll pop on. Sometimes they won't pop on right away, but just adjust the color and adjust effect, and then they should come on if you have the apply changes to WEC. And then when you're picking the colors, there's 3 different ways to pick the colors you want for your schedules. So if you see import colors, the tree basically pulls up all your presets. So like New Year's, Christmas, Halloween, all these ones. So you can do that. And then this color palette in the middle, it's the color palette that we were using before. Same exact thing, put it to wherever you want. And then the heart button with a plus, if you click that, that goes to your I like. So like I showed you before, if you make a cool schedule and you click the like button, that's where this goes. So you can select those colors, and then you can schedule them. So that's how you pick the 3 colors, and then select the effect. For this one, we're going to do fixed colors, and then we're going to do the preset Christmas because it's Christmas. Some cool effects I like for Christmas is bands and bars is usually pretty cool. And then I'm going to put the brightness to 100, and then spacing, I want it to be like red, green, white, and then just repeating. So I'm just going to put it on 1 so it does that. And then once you have all the color, it looks good on the house, click next, and then we're going to get to when you're going to schedule it. So for Christmas, it's going to do for like the whole entire uh, month of pretty much end of November, like the last day of November, and then mostly all of December. So for this one that's already set, it's going to start on the 30th, and then start time is set to 17. It's in military time. Um, it's in military time, so that would be 5. And then it scheduled to run for 7 hours. So on the 30th, it would be scheduled to come on at 5, run for 7 hours, and then turn off. And then that would happen for 35 days. So on the 30th, so pretty much the whole month of December plus 5 days, it would at 5 o'clock, it would run for 7 hours, then turn off. And then once you have that scheduled to whatever you'd like, you click done. And then that sets it. And then if you have a schedule in here you don't like, you want to get rid of it, you click on it, and then you click at the top right that little like pencil button, and then you're going to click it, and then you're going to click clear schedule, and then that will completely get rid of it. All right, so now we go to here, it's gone, and then I'll show you how to create a schedule. So if you're creating a brand new schedule, you're going to click create new schedule, select show, and then just do one of the shows that's not like named yet. So if it's one of the default shows or like the preset shows, just don't do that. Do 11 to 20 or schedule 1. And then click, make sure the apply changes to WEC is blue so you can see what it's going to look like. And then I'm just going to rename this one to default. You can rename it to whatever you'd like for whatever you're setting it for. And then schedules or colors, I'm going to do the one on, since this is the default show that's going to be like on every single day of the year pretty much, besides when there's a holiday. I'm just going to do accent lighting, which is warm white, one off, one on. And then those are the colors. So it's going to be warm white, and then it's going to be dark, and then it should be one on, one off. And then now we're going to click next, and the same thing as the other thing, except when you're setting a default show specifically, or anything you want to play every single day, mainly just a default show, you're going to want to click, it's like at the top left, the date equals, and you're going to click that. And then instead of it being an actual date, you're going to put it on a day of the week. And if you want it to be scheduled the same day, put it as the same day, since it's, well, it's Saturday now. Since it's Saturday is going to be the soonest day, I'm going to put it for Saturday. But if it was like Wednesday night at past whatever time I want it to start, like maybe it's 12 o'clock on Wednesday, then I'm going to start it for Thursday. But if it was like 5 o'clock on Wednesday, then you could set it for Wednesday. And then it's like 5 o'clock on Wednesday and you set it to turn on at 6, then it will turn on at 6. So just whatever day you can set it on. And then I'm going to do Saturday. And then every single Saturday, it will turn on at 6 o'clock, run for, I'm going to put 6 hours, so it runs till 12. And then that's going to run for 7 days. And what that does is it triggers the schedule to turn on every single 7 days. So it'll hit Saturday, it'll turn the default show on for 7 days, and then by the time the 7 days are up, it hits Saturday again, and then it just goes forever. So maybe if you wanted to not play on weekends, you could set it to like Monday, play for 5 days, skip the weekend, and then start again on Monday. But that's how you schedule the default show. And then that's everything you need to know about the Pixel Dancer app.